हेलो एवरीवन, वेरी वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग। बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आप सभी का ऑन आवर जुलाई 20th न्यूज़पेपर एनालिसिस। वेरी वेरी वार्म वेलकम एंड टुडे वी विल बी टॉकिंग अबाउट सर्टेन अपडेट्स एंड डिस्कसिंग व्हाट विल बी हैपनिंग थ्रू आउट द वीक। सो ऑन दैट नोट शुरू करते हैं आज का एनालिसिस। आई होप कि ऑल ऑफ यू आर डूइंग रियली वेल, अपना अपना ध्यान रख रहे हो आप सब, which is very very important in this time. So on that note, let's begin the analysis for the day. सबसे पहले शुरुआत करते वक्त before we begin, again a very good reminder for all of you that we will be conducting Toppers Talk for 2 more days this week. These Topper Talks, one will be tomorrow at 4 p.m. and another which will be hosted by me will happen on July 22nd 5 p.m. So भूलना मत, दिस टॉक विल बी हैपनिंग देन। एंड अगर आप मुझे सबसे पहली बार देख रहे हैं तो आई एम कुशाग्र गोयल, अ ग्रेजुएट फ्रॉम नेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी, मास्टर्स इन इकोनॉमिक्स। एंड आप अगर अपनी क्लैट की प्रिपरेशन जल्दी से जल्दी स्टार्ट करना चाहते हैं विद द बेस्ट प्लेटफॉर्म, देन enroll at the earliest for the offline admission and scholarship test of Unacademy. This will be happening in 6 cities: Delhi, Jaipur, Bangalore, Bhopal, Lucknow, Indore, and you can enroll for this test using this QR code. इस QR code को स्कैन करके आप फटाफट से enroll कर सकते हैं for the offline scholarship test. So do not miss out on the opportunity. And if you want to be like the toppers, then this is your chance to do it. Until July 22nd, we are running a 20% discount on our subscription. So you will be eligible to save almost 8,000 rupees on your total subscription cost for CLAT 2023 aspirants. And this is applicable on our Plus subscription also, but Plus में आपको live mentorship and priority in classes नहीं मिलेगी. So if you want that for 2024 and 2023 students, 2024 के लिए the batch is NLU roadmap and for 2023 it's Let's Crack CLAT. So इन दोनों batches में enroll करने के लिए iconic subscription जल्दी से जल्दी ले लीजिए to get your printed iconic notes for Unacademy. So you can take a 6-month one or beyond that, including your total savings, and you can save or receive a 20% discount. So do that at the earliest to ensure that you receive physical notes from us, which includes compendium, previous year questions, tips and strategies, and live mentorship plus priority in classes. So to entail all of that, बाकी किसी query के लिए आप हमें call कर सकते हैं at 8585858585 पर, and you can avail notifications and updates from Unacademy at our Telegram channel, and मेरी classes की updates will be available on my Telegram channel, that is Kushagra Goyal _Unacademy. So on that note शुरू करते हैं. Very very good morning everyone who have tuned in live. Hi Anubhav, hello Chanda, hello Abhineet, hello Nikita, hello Suraj, hello Priyanshi, hello Rishi, hi Khushi, Shravani, hello Rashmi, hello Kashish. Very very good morning to all of you. So on that note, first big update is 3-way contest in the offing for president's post in Sri Lanka. So this will be happening. हमने इसके बारे में कल भी डिस्कस किया था. This would be the case, and there are 3 people who are running. So once the election is out, so we'll only focus on the results. Okay, so we'll wait for the results. When they are out, we'll discuss them then. Okay, then on the right hand side is no coercive action against Nupur Sharma, Supreme Court. Now this is about multiple cases that have been filed against her, and in that regard the court has stated that there will be no specific action taken against her, and she will not be arrested until August of 10. So this is the protection that has been granted to her in cases that have been filed against her in different states. Nothing of note, हमने कल ही इसके बारे में बात भी करी थी. Okay, so अगर if you are someone who had not discussed on July 19 के analysis में, I had discussed clubbing of FIRs with all of you. ठीक है, so if you are someone who has not yet watched that, आप उस part को discuss कर सकते हो through watching the July 19th newspaper analysis, because there is no point repeating the same thing. In general, it is about same action or same cause of action against at multiple locations, you can club it and it will be investigated by one police station or one police in charge. Okay. Then we come clarification sought on Tamil Nadu's anti-NEET bill. So NEET is the entrance examination, national eligibility cum entrance exam for medical students. In that regard, state of Tamil Nadu had asked that their colleges should be exempted from NEET and they can conduct a specific state exam. So the central government has asked for a clarification from them and this is awaited. Now under Article 200 and 201, okay, okay, so this is the distinction under Article 200, 201. Governments have a discretionary power for certain bills to be sent to the President. So this is the update on that regard. Then we come on overall over 1.6 lakh Indians gave up citizenship last year. This is the number of people who have left the country to move to different areas. This includes China. Okay, so overall, now what is important is okay. This is the concept that we need to understand. Under part 2 of the Indian Constitution, we have what is known as single citizenship. Okay? We have what is known as single citizenship. Okay? And as per that, the moment someone is happening. Fair enough. Yeah. So the moment someone acquires citizenship of another country, they will have to revoke, or their citizenship of India is revoked the moment they acquire citizenship of another country. So India follows single citizenship. You can either be citizen of India or citizen of another country. USA approves dual citizenship. You can be a citizen of USA and another country. So certain countries approve that, certain countries do not. India does not approve it. Okay, so this is a distinction that need to be understood. All right, so in that regard, overall 1.6 2.6 lakh Indians, okay, have given up their citizenship of India, okay. Then crime related incidents, not important for us. Then we move on. To the editorial section, okay. Occupants का meaning vice president वाले. Occupant, one second, let me take you there. Where are you asking about occupants? Occupant is a person who acquires the office or is in the office at one moment or the other, okay. Nothing of note. Then we come to the editorial section, okay. So this first editorial, a stinging indictment, scapegoating of innocent tribals. This is related to an incident in 2017. 25 CRPF Jawans were killed by Maoists. In that relation, 121 tribals were arrested. But it has now been confirmed that the charges against those were fake and the CRPF was never actually able to capture the real culprits. So the editorial is saying कि इस तरीके के false cases against tribals who were kept in jail for almost 5 years is a violation of their human rights, something that should not happen at all in a society, okay, and that the state should grant them compensation for the same. So this is what is being discussed. Then on the second editorial, injury time, this is about India's victory in the test match, in the ODI series, bench strength of India, a performance, nothing of note for us, okay. Then we come to this editorial, okay. Tunnel vision is that is endangering India's history. Now what is happening is, how many of you have visited any historical monument at any point of time? Around your city, in your state, any fort, any other historical monument which is old, approximately 200 years old. How many of you have done that? You can also text the monument that you recently visited. Which one have you visited? Have you visited the Taj Mahal? Or have you visited the ruins of Hampi? Have you visited the Red Fort or Hill Forts of Rajasthan? Or the Imam Bada in Lucknow? Or the Purana Killa in Delhi? You have visited Bodh Gaya. Very good, very nice. What about the others? India Gate, very interesting. And Khandgiri, Udaygiri in Bhubaneswar, very interesting. Taj Mahal, very nice. Ashokan Pillar, Fatehpur Sikri, interesting. Taj Mahal, Golden Temple, very good. Very good morning, Achal. So I have asked what monument have you visited? Red Fort, Fatehpur Sikri, Taj Mahal, interesting, very nice. Temples, yeah, temples, Kalsi in Uttarakhand, very interesting. Any other person, any fort, any other temple? Konark temple, anyone? Anybody with the Bhimbetka, Somnath, very interesting. Anybody with Junagadh, Hyderabad, Charminar, Qutub Minar, Vijay Stham, Konark, very nice. Jagannath Puri temple, all right. So what we have is that we have one body that takes care of all these monuments, which is the Archaeological Survey of India. Now, this body is governed by a law known as the Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Sites and Remains Act. Okay, what the current act is that as per the current law, no new construction can be done in 100-meter radius of archaeological sites of India. Plus, the construction within 300-meter radius of these sites is also heavily regulated. Why does it that happen? Because we have these structures which are old. Somebody, if they are doing construction very close to these monuments, it could damage them permanently and we may never be able to retrieve them. Okay. What is now happening is, okay, this law which was passed in 1958, okay, the government is going to bring a amendment to it. So the author is saying that such a thing which will allow, so in this regard, certain type of construction can be allowed by a committee. So every time somebody needs to do a construction, they will approach these committees and then that committee will decide whether construction should be allowed or not. So the author is of the opinion that such kind of construction should totally be not allowed, because let's say even if you are constructing a house, whatever you are doing, it may damage the ecology of that region also. A lot of archaeological sites or ruins that are there are now commons. Commons in the sense that they are not only used by the humans, but they are also used by animals and birds, migratory species for their rest area. Those areas which are untouched by human occupation. And if we allow construction in those areas, then we will disturb that area. Another part of it is the cultural history of the soil in that area. Historians or archaeologists dig deep to find out the layers of history. If we do construction, we are changing the layers of history around the monument. So the author is again questioning such a decision that at 75 years, we should actually be trying to restore the old monuments instead of damaging them with construction activities. So that is the thread that the author is pointing out. हमारे लिए the limitation that is there, the current limitation stands 100 meter में no construction, 300 meter में regulated construction. Now the new committee will allow for construction as per its approval. So it will be an ad hoc basis, and if you have approach, you can probably get it done. So this is the question that the author is raising. Then we come to Chile marks a notch in global constitutionalism. This is written by Gautam Bhatia. Now, this is talking about constitutionalism, okay? So we all understand that constitution is the supreme law of the land. But constitutions may also have problems. We may amend them. We may also have certain kind of rights included in them. जैसे हमारा constitution is a welfare state. It calls for socialism as an ideal. It calls for state to deal or seek everybody equally. Similarly, a constitution may be written, जैसे कि Ziaul Haq wrote the Constitution of Pakistan in 1970s. He amended and made it an Islamic state. Similarly, Constitution of Bangladesh was amended to make it a secular one. So Constitution can be changed, and that means that we are governed by a society of constitutionalism. ठीक है? Constitutionalism okay, is the idea where constitutional rules and norms reign supreme. Okay. All right, so this is a very important read. The country's draft constitution is an example of enduring an egalitarian democracy. So what is happening? Constitutionalism as an idea came up with the US Constitution, which was the first one. Now, the US Constitution was a very basic constitution, 7 articles were written. And then we had the South African Constitution, which was written in the 1990s, which is very long. It is longer than the Indian Constitution also. So in that time period from 18th century to the current 21st century, how constitutions are drafted, who creates them, how they are created changes. So it is a journey of constitutionalism that is being drawn up for us. The recent example is the constitution that has been drafted in Chile, okay, which is a country in Latin America. Now the Chilean constitution, the earlier one was written by a military dictator, then the country revoked that and drafted its new constitution. Now, Constitution of India was written by Constituent Assembly. Those members were not directly elected. But as things move, progress, and things and times change, we may have more representative Constituent Assembly. So one of the things that the Chilean Constituent Assembly was that it was largely representative. 50% of it were women, 17 seats of it were reserved for indigenous people. There were reservation for sexual minorities, socio-economic minorities of Chile also. So not just rich, poor people, not just men, but women also, not just urban, but rural also. So all kinds of people were included in drawing up the constitution, which makes it more inclusive. Then certain constitutions have certain rights. So we have a set of Bill of Rights and our fundamental rights. And our rights have been evolved over time. We have had added more constitutional rights over time. Certain constitutions do not do that, such as constitutional originalism. Originalism says that constitution should be thought about in the way it was originally written, but reformative and transcending or evolving constitutional doctrines say that we include rights. Now, more constitutions have better rights, such as the South African Constitution has socio-economic rights on that resources of the country should be used equitably, resources should be differentiated, it should be distributed between people. So that's a socio-economic right. Hamare constitution mein there is right of work, equal pay for equal work, there is rights to minority institutions, so that is another thing. Then we also overall at time have now realized that democracy does not mean that you just go and vote for the government. Why? Because that will only happen once in 5 years or once in 4 years. So there needs to be representation of people. Now, for example, let's take the protection of monuments. When we voted for the current government, did we also specifically vote on their stand on how they will protect the monuments? We did not. Probably they didn't even seek votes on it. Or it was not something that was under discussion during the election campaign. Something comes up. Or similarly for vaccines. Now people have their own opinion and government has its own opinion. Government is merely 80 people representing 130 crore people. So it may happen that the government may take a wrong decision. Jaise farm bills, the government did not consult the farmers. It had to backtrack. So people's participation was realized is something that is needed now. Ki laws require participative democracy. Okay. So constitution needs to provide for public participation. Iske liye example of Kenya's constitution has been given where every law that is brought in the parliament has to be put up in public domain for 3 months. There needs to be larger discussion. Jaise ki the revocation of Article 370 was brought in on the same day with zero notice. Okay. Only 30 minutes before it was informed that this was be discussed. Did the larger public was concerned? Even the members of the house had only 6 hours to decide and deliberate and vote on it. It was a larger thing. So why should there be such hustle? There should be larger participation because maybe governments have vested interest. Jaise we have seen in Rajpaksha's, they took a lot of loan, took a lot of money and then ran away. So such things should not be happening. People should not suffer because of wrong decisions of their leaders. So participative democracy and constitution should also happen. In that regard, the Chilean constitution has provided all of it. It has socio-economic rights, it has talked about climate change resources, it has talked about partnership of laws, it has talked about more representation of people at different levels. So all of this is being talked about in the article, which is that a document with vision, it is a future-proof one to protect and improvise on different things, okay? Privacy, digital economy, all of those things are to be concerned, okay? So in that regard, this is an article that you should read on the evolution of constitution. Constitution hota kya hai, how it works, how to improve upon it. Those are things that are discussed in this editorial, okay? I will explain that, don't worry. Sir, isko note kaise kare? This is for your general reading, okay? This is for your reading plus identification of various types of constitutional rights. ठीक है? Then we come to the next. New legislation that mirrors the old. Now this is about a new bill that is probably going to be introduced, a new drugs, medical devices and cosmetic bill. Now the author is criticizing it कि this is about regulatory. अभी तक the idea that should now be brought into medicines and goods should be known as GMP. The only thing to be understood here is GMP. What is GMP? Good manufacturing practices. That overall whatever medical product that has been created in the market should have or should follow a regulated and intensive good manufacturing practices. Covaxin, which is the vaccine of Bharat Biotech, was suspended by WHO on the grounds that the manufacturing process of it was not safe enough, that process was not following good manufacturing practices. So in that regard, this is why the author is saying that the government needs to change the law and change it for the better. Okay, so that's the only thing to be discussed. Then on the right hand side, no inner party democracy. India ke andar, can it be possible that in different leaders, so we have Shiv Sena, which has literally split into two parts because of disagreement between the political parties. Similarly, it never happens in our country where members of the own current ruling party would criticize them in open public. जैसे कि in 2013, Rahul Gandhi had criticized his own government for a decision they had taken, which he believed was about criminalization of governance. So he criticized, and he was criticized for being a political novice. That how could you question something that the Prime Minister has brought in? In this regard, in UK, the members of his own Conservative Party of Boris Johnson, despite Boris Johnson bringing the biggest victory to Conservative Party in 40 years, despite that, members of his party have openly criticized him and led to his resignation as Prime Minister. Now, the author is saying that in India, we have no inner party democracy. If someone criticizes their own political party, it is actually seen as a taboo. That this is something, what have you done? How can you criticize? So in that regard, we need to become a more mature democracy. We are not yet that mature where our political parties entertain criticism of their own leaders. For example, Subramaniam Swamy from the current Bharatiya Janata Party criticizes his party regularly, but therefore he is not even given any administrative position by the government because he is seen as someone who actively criticizes his own political party. So that is what this is being discussed here, कि India should also take steps towards more inner party democracy and become a more mature one. Okay. Then we come to pandemic affected blue collared migrants. more. Okay, so this is about how jobs of different type of workers was affected by the pandemic, and in that regard the highest effect was on the income of low income people and less on the rich. Okay, which is quite obvious. Then we come to the outrage over the new national emblem. So the parliament building which has been brought, the prime minister inaugurated the new national emblem which will be put up on top of the parliament building, which has been inspired from our national emblem. Okay, now what is this? Who has designed it and what is the outrage? One of the questions that has been put up as the lions of this emblem are seen more aggressive to the original one. So for your comparison, I have brought in the picture of the original one. This is the original Ashokan Sarnath pillar. Okay, so Ashok, who was a ruler of the Mauryan Empire, okay, he had built a pillar at Sarnath. Okay, this was in relation to mark the event of Gautam Buddha's first summon at Sarnath. So Gautam Buddha was the founder of Buddhism. He had given a sermon. So the Ashokan pillar, this is 1.6 meter tall. Okay, this is the length of it, and this one has 4 animals. So the criticism is that these lions and these lions, they are to be shown as more aggressive, to show a more muscular nationalism. हमारे लिए that is something that may depend from person to person. Okay, for us what then becomes important is what is this all about. Okay, so all of you must have seen the Ashokan emblem or the Sarnath pillar. Okay, what is it and what are the things there? Okay, so all of you also know that our Sarnath pillar has 4 Asiatic lions. At any moment we can only see 3 of them. Okay, 1, 2 and 3. The other one is always hidden away from the naked eye. Okay, then we have the Ashok Chakra, which we have borrowed in our national flag. There are 24 spokes here. Okay, then it has inverted lotus as a flower on which it is sitting. This is also a symbol of Buddhism. Okay, then it has 4 animals. What are the 4 animals that are there? There are 4 animals which identifies 4 noble truths of life. जीवन के 4 सच बताने के लिए, which is a horse, a lion, a bull and an elephant. Okay, so 4 animals in the Sarnath pillar: horse, lion, bull and elephant. Atop of it are 4 lions in 4 directions. When was it built? 250 BC, before Christ, which was to mark the first sermon of Gautam Buddha at Sarnath. Okay, so this is the idea. Now they are in clockwise direction. Okay, how the clock moves? In that direction. Okay, the current one has been built. Okay, so the current one was built by Dior and Moses, okay, who have created the current replica, Dior and Moses, which is of almost 6,500 kilograms. Okay, now in this regard, when India got independent, then a copy of it was created. Who created that copy? The first one of the Republic of India. That was done by Nandlal Bose. Okay, 5 students of Nandlal Bose, that is Jagdish Mittal, Kripal Singh Shekhawat, Gauri Bhanja and Dinanath Bhargava. Okay, so they had done this and it had become the national emblem of India. Now the controversy is that this is too aggressive, the Prime Minister. This is also to show muscular nationalism as an identity. It's a political one. But हमारे लिए the original document becomes important. What it means, what are the symbols in it, they are the important part of it. Okay, then we move on. The judgment on Burkapal Maoist attack, this is in the editorial. We have already discussed how these 124 people were accused of killing the CRPF Jawans, but no evidence was found against them. After 5 years, they have now been acquitted. That no evidence was found, nobody even gave a testimony against them, there were no witnesses to prosecute them. All of this was a bogus case that was built up to put up the tribals, okay? Then we come a wormhole. A wormhole is a space concept where it is believed that if you travel through a wormhole, you can travel into different space in time, okay? So the idea of wormhole was first given after Albert Einstein gave this idea, okay? Who gave this idea? Kip Thorpe, okay, who was a Nobel laureate also. So he was the one who gave the idea of wormholes, okay? And that traveling through wormholes is like traveling through a ribbon, okay? That in different point of time you can reach through one area or the other. But we have not been able to actually identify whether this is true or not. We have not observed any time wormholes as may happen. But it is believed that there would be time wormholes in which we could travel. जैसे Marvel universe में you must have read about Ant-Man who travels through time at different time periods. Okay, so that's the story. Then we move on to Sangyukt Kisan Morcha fumes over MSP panel not to send its representatives. This is about that the government has brought these people. The MSP committee is not representative enough. There are different type of people there, nothing of note. Then Margaret Alva, opposition's candidate for vice president, has also submitted her papers. We'll finally find out who will win. It is most likely that the NDA candidate, that is Jagdish Dandekar, will be the winner. Okay, then we move on. Ministry of Home Affairs has stated that India में radicalization, that is religious fundamentalism, is very minuscule, and that such incidents are not large scale in our country and people are largely law abiding in the country. Then we move on. GST changes on food items, that essential items should be put up on food, nothing of note. Then we come, China steps up LAC air drills as stocks stall. This is something that is already known. We have not been able to make any progress in terms of de-escalation at 3 areas, Petrol Point 15, Depsang and Demchok. The recent 16th round of talks were not successful. There was no area of any improvement that had happened. And in that light, China has also been upping up its overall preparation with artillery brigade, PCL 91 brigade, which has been taking steps, okay? Then we move on. No role for caste in Agnipath, as the government has stated. This only will be able to know when the recruitment actually happen. Then we move on to international news, okay? United Kingdom recorded its first time or first event when the temperatures went above 40 degrees Celsius. So their country is not accustomed to such heat, but for the first time in their summer months, that temperatures are now reaching above 40 degrees. Okay, so this is showing that climate change is affecting everybody equally. Okay, then Rishi Sunak, who is Indian origin, may be one vote away from winning the position as Prime Minister. This is the news update from there. Then we have Iran sends filmmaker. Now this is a news that you have to note down. Okay. This is Masoud Satyasi, who was director Jafar Panahi, okay, he will be given a 6-year jail sentence, or he will complete his 6-year jail sentence. Now, such individual in news is always asked कि who was jailed by Iran for criticism of the government? Jafar Panahi, okay. Then we move on. Putin says progress in Ukraine grain talks. This is about Iran and Turkey meeting Vladimir Putin to resolve wheat export from Ukraine and out of to reduce global food prices. This is something that is happening. Apart from that, on economic side, GST Punjab Goa may see losses. That could be a thing that may happen. Then we move on to other news, nothing of note in this regard. On sporting side, Rojas and Brasham complete a hat-trick. This is about Olympic winners participating in the World Athletic Championship. Okay. Then our steeplechase runner, Avinash Sable, finished 11th in the final. Okay. That happened, nothing of note in this regard, nothing of note in sports also. So on that note, we will conclude for the day. And what you all have to note down, सबसे पहले is Sarnath pillar, then single citizenship, okay. So three main things in the newspaper for the day. First, Sarnath's Ashokan pillar and the new one, controversy around it, single citizenship of India, and the constitutionalism article, which is the main editorial. Then we also discussed other two editorials, amendments to the laws. So good manufacturing practices, GMP, that is something you have to note down, and construction limits under monuments. So monuments, I am writing a short one, monuments and 100-meter area, okay, around which construction is not to be allowed. So on that note, I will be concluding for the day. Again, a reminder that at 11:10 a.m., okay, we will be doing our daily quiz. So make sure that you participate in the quiz and do not miss out on it, okay. So we will be doing the quiz. Do not miss out on it, okay. This will be on Unacademy special class, and it is totally free, okay. So on that note, if you want to study your GK from me, अगर आप मुझसे अपनी CLAT 2023 की GK पढ़ना चाहते हैं, then the classes will be beginning from tomorrow. कल दोपहर में 2 बजे से is the first class, 2:30 PM पर कल पहली क्लास है, ठीक है. So do not miss out on it. Enroll at the earliest in the batch of Success Law. इस बैच में एनरोल करने के लिए आप यूज़ कर सकते हैं मेरा कोड KUSHGK. इस कोड को यूज़ करके अभी 10% नहीं, आपको 20% डिस्काउंट मिलेगा ऑन योर Unacademy subscriptions. So make use of this offer, save yourself almost 8,000 rupees and subscribe at the earliest, okay. This is also available on Plus subscription, मतलब आप classes देख सकते हैं using this subscription. But if you want mentorship, doubt solving and physical notes, then you should take the iconic one, 6 months या उससे ज़्यादा. But CLAT की preparation आप plus subscription से भी कर सकते हैं if you want to take that option. So use the offer and avail a 20% discount at the earliest, okay. So do not miss out on the classes. बाद में मत बोलना सर मिस हो गया, okay. बाकी updates के लिए follow my Telegram channel, which is Kushagra Goyal _Unacademy, and do remember that Perso, that is on July 22nd, I will be taking a session with Ananya, who was my student at Unacademy. She is now studying at NLU Jodhpur. So on that note, thank you so much everyone. अगर आपको ये वीडियो अच्छा लगा है तो please give it a like and share, and do subscribe to the channel if you are new here. So on that note, take care everyone. अभी से 8 मिनट में मिलेंगे for our quiz, okay. So on that note, take care, bye.